Excitement in the air tonight here at Irk Russell Park in Statesboro, Georgia. It is the inaugural season and the first ever home game for Tormenta FC here in the PDL. And we welcome you down on the field, everybody. Thrilled you could join us. I'm Drew Felios alongside former MLS star Eddie Rodriguez. We're going to be here for the entire season. And Eddie, tonight, the stands are packed. Excitement is in the air. It's going to be an unbelievable season.
That's right, Drew. Huge expectations. The whole town has bought into the idea of having a semi-pro team in town. Businesses, hotels, great atmosphere here. And, of course, they had a great result last week. They had a 0-0 tied. So they're looking to get it done tonight.
That's right. It all starts with defense. That's something that new head coach Ben Freakley is stressing here in the early part of the season. Last week, they don't get any goals, but they do get the point.
That's the important thing. They get the point, and more than that, they play good, solid defense, especially here at home. You can go a little more offensive, but it all starts from the back. We talk about, defense wins championship. That's the, mentality of this team. Tormenta is going to go get them tonight.
So tonight, the Carolina Dynamo are in town. It should be a fun match as Tormenta looks for their first win of the season. When we come back, we'll introduce you to some of the players, and we'll kick this show off as Tormenta and the Dynamo from Carolina get set to tangle here in Statesboro.
Soak it in and remember this.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
We're going to go, Art.
Underway in Statesboro, Tormenta FC and the Dynamo out of Carolina. And already less than 30 seconds into the game, a quick shot on goal by the Carolina Dynamo.
Yeah, Reed playing across that ball, just what we call a square ball. Not the way you want to do it, especially early in the first minute of this game.
Tormenta getting the tie last week in a no-score game with Tri-Cities, but Carolina last week falling to Charlotte, an in-state team, by the penalty kick. Eddie, it happened late. The Dynamo looking to get their first win here tonight.
Of course, for them, they were on the road as well. This is their second road trip. And it's tough, Drew, when you're on the road the first 2 weekends. And for these players, they've only been together for about 3 weeks. So a lot of unknown players. That's the way the PDL is pretty much constructed.
Eli Dent ran into some traffic. And now the Dynamo coming the other way. Cut off that time by number 3, Hunter Lloyden was right there. And now this is Chris Ramsell trying to make something happen as the ball rolls out of bounds. And it will be a goal kick for the Tormenta.
And keep an eye on that match right there. Ramsell on the left side for the Carolina Dynamo team against the number 3 fullback, Hunter Lloyden, who loves to go out of the back with the ball under control. And that's why that matchup is going to be pretty interesting, playing defense first and, of course, attacking out of the back.
Anton Wyden is the goalie for Tormenta. Outstanding last week in his first start, not allowing a point. As a little push in the back ignored by our officiating crew. Now the Dynamo controlling things here in the opening minutes. That ball's going to skirt out of bounds, and it will belong to the home team.
And that's that match I was talking about. Hunter Lloyden on the ground after that little push. And Drew, get used to that. Both teams come out with a 4-2-3-1, meaning that the middle of the field is going to be completely packed, a lot of legs across. So you got to be able to use the outside width on both teams. Fullbacks have to go forward. And, of course, you got to push the lines out of the back early in this game. Both playing with that number 9, the big target forward. So you know the outsides are going to be open.
This Tormenta team has been together for a little less than a month, so the maturation process still very much a work in progress. It is something that Coach Ben Freakley is trying to figure out, and same thing on the other side with Tony Falvino of Carolina. These two teams, Eddie, still very much trying to gel.
And of course, the first 5 minutes of the game, it's always the jitters. You got to get them out of the way. But we got to see a glance of the speed of Jordan going out the attack. He's going to play that number 10 for Tormenta FC.
Peyton Erickson comes up to get it upfield for Tormenta, trying to establish some control. Eli Dent now puts it in position as Lloyden had it go off his head. Lloyden able to keep it alive, and Tormenta's got something cooking.
That's the great thing about Lloyd. He's playing that right mid. Watch how open he's staying all the way at the touchline, so he's going to create some space for him to collect the ball.
And we've got a whistle there. Ayo Susu, somebody who's going to make things happen, Eddie, out of the back all over the field.
That's right. He's on the playing out of the left flank. He's got plenty of speed. Of course, he's got that sweet left foot. And of course, coach told him when it's on, you can go forward. Loves to go forward. Great service with that left foot.
Sosu, one of a few players for Tormenta with USL experience. 3 years he spent at the higher levels.
Yeah, you can't use it right now, or you're having tripod problem.
Not a great service into the box. You want to make sure you drive the ball to the far post. Give your forwards a chance to get in there, especially when you're playing with a big number 9 Hunter. The hammer, what we call him, right? He's got the ability to get up and just hammer the ball down.
Yeah, talking about Nikolai Hammer. He wears number 9 for Tormenta. We'll be talking about him throughout the night. Tremendous finishing ability. He will have a target on his back all night long, as for the first time Ryan Cretans touches it for the Carolina Dynamo.
Where he plays that traditional number 9. It's a post-up forward, big guy. You know, he can control the ball great in the air, typical of a number 9.
Now Carolina, another quality chance. The move made in the box now, trying to establish the angle, and just ran out of room. Elliott couldn't catch up to it, but another good chance by Carolina.
Great job by Mario da Silva out of the back for Carolina, and that's one of the things that Tormenta needs to do, just close the gaps in the middle of the field. Da Silva was able to split through defenders, and he was trying to play that ball, ran out of space right there, but locally he wasn't able to take a shot on goal.
So twice now here in the opening minutes, Carolina's been able to get deep, and getting deep on this Tormenta defense, Eddie, has not been an easy thing to do so far here for Tri-Cities or Carolina early in the season.
Well, and that's the challenge, I would say, when you're playing the same style, and you can see in the middle, you're going to have matches. There's no mismatches in the middle. Everybody's played man on man, so you're accountable for the guy in front of you, which is good.
Da Silva trying to send it back, but too many navy blue shirts in the way that time. And now Tormenta with some numbers and some rhythm, and that's what they're looking for offensively tonight.
There's that run out of the back that I was talking about for Hunter Lloyden.
Good ball by Lloyden. Headed out though. And now Anunga able to push it upfield.
So this is where Tormenta is so good, close into space right there. Reed on the ball, he's got that sweet left foot. He's going forward, trying to split the defenders.
Reed Norton, nice pass that time, but the whistle comes out, and there's our first offside.
And you see the difference when you get a player, especially a defensive center mid like Reed, when he goes forward, he's the number 8 right now. He's going to split defenders, so he's that plus player, then he can pick and choose where to go. Unfortunately, by the time he played that ball, his player was a little bit offside.
Reed Norton, one of several players for Tormenta that went to Georgia Southern University. Got a few of those we're going to be talking about in this game. Norton also played soccer at NC State as well. So
we spoke to Coach earlier and said those free balls in the air, you got to get ahead on it early. So there's got to be a Tormenta player right off the bat.
Physical right there. Sosu able to come away with it.
Yeah, Sosu's so quick. talk about Ayo, his ability to go forward, his technical ability.
Such a charismatic player as well. We saw him all day yesterday. Didn't see him once without a smile on his face.
Always smiling, just having a great time. Just happy to be here, happy to contribute with this team.
How can you not be happy? The entire town is behind Tormenta FC. These players with a tremendous opportunity to improve their stock over the next few months.
We saw that great combination 1-2 going forward between Reed and Jordan. Reed tried to switch a point of attack with a long left foot, not able to connect well. Gives it up. Tormenta back with the ball.
Now, Eddie, you're starting to see Tormenta possess a little bit more here.
Yeah, and you know, you and I have been doing a lot of games. Usually the first 5-7 minutes, it's a little bit of nerves. First home game for them, and now you can see they're starting to click. They're starting to find the 1-2s combination, getting behind defenders. And that's what you want to do, find combinations, get your touch on the ball.
Here's Norton, little change of pace. Trying to get the angle, clear himself for a shot. Contact, waiting for a whistle, it never came, as Andreas Iosifidis able to clear it.
You can tell Reed's finally getting to his own. Good ball into space right here for Carolina.
Nipon was cut off though. Boy, that Tormenta defense, they can run.
And that's the importance of playing good defense. They close you down right away. The closest player to the ball is going to close you down. They're going to delay you, and then they let everybody else get behind you.
Opening minutes here in the first ever home match for Tormenta FC. Tormenta able to lose it there, and now Bronico trying to shake free. The shot and the goal to get Carolina on the board here early.
Not the way you want to start the game. Payton just loses the ball, trying to trap the ball right there. A good job by Bronico going behind, takes one touch, and hits it to the far post.
Dynamo goal scored by number 10, Bronico.
So Bronico able to take advantage of a early Tormenta mistake. And Eddie, that was a case we talked about yesterday, how the emotions were going to be so high here in the opening minutes. You had to be careful with the ball, and there obviously a mistake that led to a goal.
Especially out of the back, but for him, you know, just to forget about it and move on. You know, it happens. But Peyton, we know we got a little bit of a rain before the game started, so we know the pitch is wet, and that's exactly what happened. He tried to trap the ball, wasn't able to do so right in front of him, and of course, great chance for the number 10, Bronico from Carolina, to put it away early in this game.
Whistle there, Reed Norton sent Anunga to the ground, and Anunga in some pain.
And of course, he's gonna try to milk the clock a little bit.
So the goal coming in the 10th minute. So that's the first goal that has been scored on Tormenta this season. Remember last week, pitching the shutout against Tri-Cities. As the sun goes down here in Statesboro, and so will the temperature. That ball flies off the post, and luckily for the home team, it wasn't another goal.
Long driven ball, service into the box. Danny Elliott gets up, beats Hutton, the goalkeeper, off the line, and he almost scores on that one. You know, it seems like Tormenta, they got to settle down a little bit, just keep their composure. And you can see it right there, just a little bit of nervousness. They're missing the simple balls. They got to go back to the basics.
Stephen James controlling for Carolina. 25 players on this Tormenta roster. Not all of them dressed out here tonight. The limit 18 in the PDL.
On the field. You have 11 starters, of course. And then the rest are subs. With 4 substitutions. No re-entry, of course.
Tormenta roster put together throughout the course of the past year. As Tormenta FC now with some control. Reed Norton getting it in position. Eli Dent. Ball deflected that time.
Yeah, Eli was trying to play the 1-2 right into the target forward. Hammer Nikolai not able to give a good ball on the ground. And that's the missing piece right now for the Tormenta. They build pretty well out of the back. They get to the attacking third. And that last touch, it's not precise just yet.
We We mentioned, Eddie, Tormenta getting back to the basics. It appears they're doing that right now, just trying to make the simple pass, get themselves in position, and a whistle right there, a step in the right direction.
Yeah, and that's what you want to do. Just keep the ball going side to side, trying to find those gaps, trying to keep the ball 12, 11, 12 times. Therefore, you can move the Dynamo side to side, and then you can find those gaps in between. You can find your big man on top, your number 9, and then you can make runs up for him.
It's Casey Osborne now with it. Defender is latest stop the Atlanta Silverbacks. Chris Ramsell there to take it away for Carolina and send it upfield.
If you think about it, Drew, the Tormenta really hasn't given up much defensively other than that mistake. But you can tell the Dynamo haven't gone forward enough. I mean, other than the goal, not many chances. That's a good sign. The goal came off an individual error. However, as a team, as a unit, defensively, they're playing pretty solid.
This isn't bad.
So Carolina coming off their first goal of the season. Anunga was cut off. Anunga able to get it back. Sends it right side. Trying to catch up to it is De Silva. And he's going to play out of the corner. Dynamo trying to get it in position. Defense in position for Tormenta. Here's Ramsell. Nice ball. It's got some air under it, but right there is the goalie widen to clear it.
Great job by the goalie, just staying on his line. He comes out, wins the ball. Good job by Tormenta, just staying home, especially out of the back, right on the 18-yard line as the Dynamo was switching the point of attack. We see the service right into the box. Great job by Anton just coming and grabbing it. Plenty of time. And now the Tormenta build out of the back.
Ball rolls out. It will belong to Tormenta. Also a nice job by Carolina on that last possession, Eddie. Showing some patience.
And that's key for both teams. As you mentioned, both teams very early in their season. We spoke to both coaches before the game. That's a great switch right here to the other side. Jordan Liu.
McLean. Ball comes off his foot. Now belongs to De Silva along the right side. And I think Mario De Silva has been the best player on the field here in the first 10 minutes.
Absolutely. Always around the ball. Here we see him again. Top of the box. Right on the 18.
Players looking for a whistle. It never came.
Very tricky left-footed player. A dribbler.
Chris Ramsell now with the cross, trying to get another chance at it, and it'll go out of bounds and belong to Tormenta. And right now, Tormenta, boy, their defense getting penetrated here.
Yeah, Chris with the 1-2 right now, and great job by Casey. Late tackle, but fortunately goes off the legs of Chris. You're right, though. Tormenta just playing a little too behind, and now they're giving a little too much space to the Dynamo. No call right there. Amner Nikolai asking for that foul. He was being pushed from behind. There it is again. There's one thing to put pressure on a forward. There's another thing to completely push him off the ball.
Very hot and humid it was in the pregame, but sun has gone down. Now the temperature will surely drop here in Statesboro. You felt the heat just a few hours ago. We did have some showers too just before this contest, but it looks like we have a picture-perfect night in store.
And the tempo of the game will slow down as well. You know, we talked about the humidity, and you know, both of those teams are used to the heat, but the tempo of the game will slow down a little bit as the game gets on.
Chad Arslan tripped up that time, and now Tormenta will have it in good position. Attacking from the left side, Arslan. Right there is the player, but it is cut off. That is Ryan Cretens with a tremendous save. Eddie, he timed it perfectly.
Great ball to the far post. Eli Dent gets a foot on it, but great job by Ryan Cretens taking care of his near post. You're right, perfectly timed save right there by the goalkeeper.
One of those balls, Eddie, where he knew he had to get to where that ball was going to go, or else he had no chance at it.
Yeah, absolutely. Ball gets thrown all the way to the back. You got to get there. However, you got to get there, and just, you know, there's somebody close in that gap from the outside in.
Jordan Liu able to win it, but outnumbered by the Dynamo at midfield. And now De Silva once again controlling. Tries the pass, but there's an offsides. Danny Elliott a little bit too far behind.
Always those two trying to combine between Brandt Bronico, who scored the goal, and then Mario da Silva looking for 11. Danny Elliott, who's just a little bit off the line. He gets called from an offside. And this gives the Tormenta FC defense a little bit of a breather in the back. They're going to go direct to their number 9. Looking for that flick, making runs off of that.
Most of the players on the Tormenta roster come from the East Coast, some from the Midwest. Meanwhile, for Carolina, about 90% of their roster comes from the state of North Carolina.
Yeah, it's a lot of great soccer in Carolina. You have all the UNC schools, Chapel Hill, Greensboro. Of course, the big-time D programs, you know, Duke, NC State. So there's a lot of great soccer in South Carolina as well.
Arslan was trying to generate the corner kick here, couldn't do it.
Great job getting to the end. He was going to cross that ball left-footed.
Drew Felios and Eddie Rodriguez. We're thrilled to have you with us tonight. This is the first ever home match for Tormenta FC. The stands are packed. Tremendous enthusiasm in the air. The wind was taken a little bit out of the sails at the 10-minute mark as Carolina was able to come up with the first goal of the match and the first goal of the season for either team. And that's where we stand. It's 1-0.
And you can tell, as I said, it came off an individual error. And ever since then, they really haven't had much chances for, of course, we're talking about Carolina Dynamo. But other than that, both teams playing pretty even. That tends to happen with both teams playing the same system. Come out with a 4-2-3-1, meaning they have 2 defensive center mids, 3 attacking, and 1 big target forward.
First,
Carolina dropping a little bit, and they give Tormenta a little bit of space to build out of the back.
that first week of practice for Tormenta, the focus was solely defense. They did not practice offense one of the days in that first week, so that's clearly been the emphasis. Since then, they've slowly put the offensive tack in place, but you can see it is still very much a work in progress here.
Yeah, and for them, it's just about going back to the basics. They pretty much done so after the goal.
Hunter Lloyd in now, controlling. Eddie, how big will that first goal be to get this new team going and get that confidence going offensively?
Oh, we see this bad tackle from behind.
That was
Hunter plays that ball. And you can see that late tackle, that late challenge by Bruce Oliver from Carolina. That first goal is going to be huge, and Tormenta has to equalize before the half. I mean, they have plenty of time in the second half, but it just, you kind of want to put one in before the half and really get your team a chance to come back. It's a great chance for Reed to dump it in the box. He's got the sweet left foot.
Ball in the air. It's a dangerous one. And coming down with it is Ryan Cretens. Boy, he has made some tremendous plays early on in this first half.
Great service by Reed. Left-footed in-swinger, just enough spin. Look at that little flick. It actually happened off of the defender. And you can tell anything can happen. Great job of the goalkeeper, Ryan Cretens, though, off the line.
Ryan Cretens out of UNC Wilmington. Got UNC Wilmington, UNC Greensboro, both
Chapel Hill
produce some pretty good soccer program. You know that the Tar Heels can play some soccer on the men's and women's side.
That's what I was saying. And then you have NC State, Duke, some of the other schools.
Iosafidis over to the right side, and that ball gets away from Danny Elliott. Dangerous ball there, and Carolina able to send it out. So Anton Wyden now with the goal kick. This Carolina team was founded in 1993. Tonight, Tormenta playing a team, Eddie, that is older than the PDL League itself. 23
right.
years old.
For some of us who have been around and played in different leagues, got a chance to play against the Dynamo in the A-League. And as you mentioned, A-Club has been around for a long time. I'm sure at some point they're going to want to make the transition to MLS. They've been A-League before. They were USISL before that. Now they're at PDL. Dropped one.
And formerly the Greensboro Dynamo. That was until 1996. Attacking once more now. De Silva has been an early thorn in the side of the Tormenta. Bronico. Chris Ramsell winds up with it. Tormenta in position. This ball is hammered out and will belong to the home team.
Good job defensively by Tormenta coming back. Although Dynamo's been able to find that gap in between the forwards. Da Silva looking great, looking for Brand, always looking for Danny Elliott on top. Those three players right there, they do a great job keeping the ball on the ground and looking for each other.
That ball into the stands momentarily. Standing room only here tonight. You look around the stadium, see all the temporary bleachers put in, and I have a feeling those are going to be permanent because they are packed right now.
Packed everywhere. We really haven't announced the official, number at the gate, but it's got to be probably 2,000-3,000 people here in attendance. I know they had 2,000 on the road last week, so this has got to be at least 3 at home.
You see bleachers throughout the end zone, also the main grandstand here just below us. Not a seat to be had. Here comes Jad Arslan, and the ball will go off his foot and roll into Carolina territory. So these players going to be together until mid-July. It's going to be a long journey for all of them. It's something that Coach Freakley is embracing. He talked about how everybody is together now. The families are together, getting to know each other, and how this team is really starting to mesh. And so far, it has gone perfectly.
It is tough, Drew, just to get here. As you mentioned, they only had a week of practice. You can imagine how many backgrounds, different coaches, different schools they get here, different formations. So for them, it's a challenge to get here. And then, under a new coach who doesn't know much about them, we spoke to coach. There are times where they had tryouts of 150 players here, and these are the chosen players. So it's definitely a challenge to put a team together in such a short period of time.
Bronico is getting really physical, able to win that ball, and now Carolina trying to get in position. The shot going to sail a little bit high, but a great effort by Naipon to keep that alive.
Yeah, Mamadi Naipon with that left-footed in-swinger looking for the far post. Great job on top of the 18, though. Look at that. He was looking for that far post, and that left-footed shot just sails away. The Dynamo have a great group of individual players. They don't play great just yet, but you can tell they have good individual technical players. Now, Mario da Silva, of course, you have Mamadou in the middle as well.
Yeah, watching them so far, hard to believe. They went 90 minutes without a goal last week. They've got some talent. Eli Dent tries to send it upfield. Nobody was home, and now Cretans will come out of the net to chase it down.
Another challenge of this league, Drew, in the PDL. A lot of these players maybe weren't on the pitch. A lot of the universities just released some of these players midweek, so they might have just gotten here. And that's one of the things about the PDL. There's so many players rotate in and out, and that's one of the challenges for coaching staffs and general managers. Of course, when things are not going well, you can bring the next wave of players that are not used to your system of play just yet.
This is a 14-game regular season, so week 2 for both of these teams, and of course hoping to make a run into the postseason where the top 2, maybe 3 teams in each division will get a chance. As down on the ground right now is Eli Dent out of the College of Charleston, and he gets up a little bit gingerly.
Eli Dent, once again, a great player, another great Carolina school, of course, South Carolina. Casey to put the ball in play, long driven ball into the box.
Once again, winds up into the hands of Cretans. But how important is it for a goalie to have great hands, Eddie? Cretans has shown that here in the
Not
first
only
half.
that, Drew, but that's what we call having a presence by the goalkeeper. Every time he comes out, he commands the box, he wins everything in the air, and as a defender, you know that no matter what, everything behind you, he's going to grab. That's a great feeling to have as a defender.
Tormenta going to take the air out of this one just a bit. Lloyden centers it, asking to send it back. And we have a whistle as Nipon sent the midfielder Norton to the ground.
And that's what I like about Reed. He's deceitfully fast for being a tall kid. He's got that sweet left foot, but every time he checks into, he's playing that number 6, the number 8, but every time he checks into the hole, he can either play it back, turn, switch a point of attack. He's going to be one of the catalyst players for this Tormenta FC. Wants to get going, wants to get forward a little bit more.
Shot of our fans in attendance here tonight as we near the 30th minute here in the first half. 1-0 is your score. Carolina Dynamo over South Georgia's Tormenta FC. First ever home match for Tormenta. Tremendous buzz in the air tonight. Let's see if a scoring chance can be generated right here. A little bit physical. Once again, Cretans comes up to snatch that one and kill it.
Once again, long driven ball into the far post. This one's looking for Eli Denton. Gets up. That was actually Jordan Liu who got at the end of that. And once again, goalkeeper comes out and collects that ball. That ball, Drew's got to be driven. You can't hang it up there because you give the chance to the defender because he always has that angle. As a forward, you want that ball driven into your head. And of course, that ball has to be driven to that number 9, Hammer Nikolai. We know his abilities of heading the ball.
Sidney McLean had something working, but it's cut off right there at midfield. And now a numbers chance for Carolina. They've shown tremendous poise in their offensive possessions in the final third here in the first half.
And that's one of the things Carolina has done so well, just winning the ball and transition so quick. As soon as they win the ball for Tormenta, they go at the attack. They look for Mario da Silva right away. They look for their number 10, Brant Bronico, who scored the first goal. And they can stay home defensively, win the ball, and attack right away.
First corner kick of the match for either team. And Brant Bronico will do the honors for the Carolina Dynamo. So this will really test Tormenta's goalie, Anton Wyden. Let's see if he's up to the task. Ball in the air. And that one headed just a little bit high. Danny Elliott out of Hospra had the right idea for Carolina.
Good ball, right foot and swinger all the way to the back. Here we see it, and all the way, Danny Elliott gets up and just not able to connect with the ball. That's when you got to say yes to the ball. Drive that ball to the lower corners. So hard for the goalkeeper to get.
Eddie, you were talking about just moments ago, the makeup of these PDL rosters, NCAA soccer athletes, all with tremendous ability, continuing to play at a high level in the offseason. What does this mean to their soccer careers? Obviously, just a tremendous chance.
Yeah, this is a great chance for them to stay active in the summer. Of course, college players, they have an amateur status, meaning that they cannot get paid. And some of the guys, there's a couple of guys in the roster who have played, in the NASL now, used to be the A-League. They've actually been professional players. They have to change their status, come back down, be amateur players. And, but it's a great chance for them to come out and get some touches during the summer, play at a high level. As you and I know, there's 64 PDL teams in the country. So talk about the competition, the level of competition, so it's great for them to stay active.
Nikolai Hammer sent it downfield. This one is going to go off the head of Ramsell. And now Tormenta will have it deep in the Carolina zone.
Yeah, he was looking for Eli Dent on the right side. And Hunter Lloyd once again, that right fullback, making runs out of the back.
So Lloyden will toss it in. He's another Georgia Southern product. They'll toss it deep. Trying to post up Nikolai Hammer. He is the guy that they really want to get the ball to in prime position for Tormenta.
And you can tell the Dynamo know that. They haven't given him an inch. Not many balls to him on the ground or in the air where he's so lethal. He's always marked by that guy right there. And number 3 in the back for the Dynamo, doing a great job. Steve James.
Anunga. Lloyd unable to cut that one off. Now controlling is Casey Osborne. Very mature, a steady passer, really organizes things for Tormenta. But in the first half, a little bit sloppy in the back, attacking upfield. Eli Dent will send it back.
This is when the speed of the game has to improve for Tormenta. Now you cannot lose the ball in the middle of the park, because this is when the Dynamo are the best. They win the ball in the middle, they're going to transition, go quick. They have so many great forwards. We talk about, you know, that guy number 11, Danny Elliott, who had the last header, and of course, Mario da Silva, number 9. As the Dynamo get the call here in the throw-in.
Dynamo have shown tremendous poise coming in here to a very, very enthusiastic environment. You can tell Statesboro just ready to embrace their new team. Jan Arslan.
And that's what Tormenta needs to do. Switch the point of attack out of the back. Once again, find those holes in the middle. But you cannot lose the ball in transition. That's what they've done.
Eddie, it seems like as soon as the ball crosses midfield, right there, the runs have stopped, right there. That third pass that Tormenta has struggled with so far in this game.
You're right, and that's what we call the passing, the attack in third. You're absolutely right. It gets good through the middle, and once you get to that final attack in third, they're not as precise. Well, you got to play the ball on the ground, or it's got to be perfectly to that ball. To that player, rather. So you're right. It's just got to be great moving off the ball, on and off the ball as well. If you're carrying the ball, you got to do a better job keeping the ball.
Should an adjustment be made in the 4-2-3-1?
No, they're good right now. It's just a matter of the systems. You know, it's working because you've had a couple of chances. It's a matter of, you know, tightening it up a little bit, especially when it comes down to the individual touches by each player. It's not so much a system. And this is why. It's not like they're having tons of chances. It's not like they're getting behind you and getting, you know, clear opportunities right outside the box. That's not the case. You know, as we mentioned, the goal came off an individual error out of the back. Just one of those mistakes that happen. You go to trap the ball and just kind of skids away from you. We talked about the conditions, the wet surface. And you can tell the Dynamo just getting a little bit of confidence in the back. They knock it around. They finally go for that long ball.
Now Peyton Erickson comes up to play it for Tormenta, as we've got less than 10 minutes to go in the first half. Game started with a goal by Brant Bronico in the 10th minute. And we have not had much fireworks since, but Carolina is certainly threatened.
Yeah, Tormenta running out of time in this first half to equalize the score.
Really physical down by the goalie, and that's Naipon trying to exert himself.
Yeah, Mamadi Naipon, just a little bit of push from behind to Peyton. Here we see it again. Trying to put that body, that's a great job in the back, putting your body between the forward and the ball. Peyton Erickson doing a good job defensively in the back up to that mistake. And that's what you want to do, Drew. Just put the mistake behind. He's done a great job since then. Playing good, solid defense, taking care of those forwards.
And our first substitution, Sidney McLean, comes off the field. Daniel Jota, the midfielder out of Marshall, first off the bench for Tormenta FC. So we're going to see Jota. We're also going to see Kieran Roberts, number 7, the forward out of Radford. Had a chance to meet him last night, and very enthusiastic, very excited to get on the field to help his team.
Yeah, he knows. He could feel it that he might get a chance tonight.
Ball turned around, and now Arslan will send it back. Tormenta trying to get a good shot on goal here before the end of the first half. Have not had many clean chances up to this point. This is Naipon. Trying to split the defense, unsuccessful.
Great job by Payton winning the ball out of the back. Great distribution. Almost great. The ball a little bit behind for L.I. Dent. And you can tell how well the Tormenta, they defend, especially in that last play as a unit. There was 4 of the Tormenta plays and only 1 for the Dynamo going forward.
Yeah, so far, seeing tremendous effort from both of these teams, especially Tormenta. Just get the feeling that once the chemistry starts to really click offensively, Tormenta is going to be a tough, tough team to deal with. It.
You know what, Drew?
They are tough right now.
A lot of the times, all it takes is 1 goal to go your way. It doesn't matter how you put it in the back of the net, and I tell you what, it's just like magic. Then you really start clicking, and that's what they need. They need to figure out a way to put 1 in the back of the net before the half, and that'll turn things around. As we see hundreds of kids going around the track from the Storm Soccer Club, the local club.
Brad Bronico controlling now for Carolina. He'll send it back. Anunga with Ramsell at midfield.
Chris Ramsell has done a great job for the Carolina Dynamo. Just plays out of the left side, but you know, he's making some great runs. A couple of good crosses in the first half. Dangerous player, though, for the Dynamo.
Aiden Erickson.
Good job once again coming out of the back, cleaning everything. And Tormenta coming out with plenty of time. That's what I was saying, Drew. The Dynamo are not pressing you too much. They let you come out of the back, which is good. However, you need to clean it up as you keep going forward, finding that attacking third, finding that space, as we see once again Hunter going forward.
And a chance here. Arslan trying to shoot free. And the flag does go up, but it looked like for a moment, Eddie, he was about to shake free and have a one-on-one.
But that's exactly what I'm talking about. Goal, the ball goes into the forward. He lays it back. Ball went to Hunter. He played it through. Great job by the Tormenta team. That's exactly what they need to do now. They need to do more of that. And it's got to be to their feet. That ball that comes back negative has got to be a good ball into the midfielder so he can play a better ball.
Now it's Bronico. Ball will roll out of bounds. Another corner kick coming up for Carolina. And as we watch the young kids run around the track, Eddie, I think we have a new tradition here at Tormenta home games. Really just a family atmosphere. Everybody just having a blast tonight at Eric Russell Park.
I think every time the local team scores a goal, they should do 3 laps. We're going to start something new tonight here.
That's what it is all about. Here's a ball in the box, headed out. Now Tormenta will try and chase it down. Anunga clears it for Carolina.
Great job by Reed, near post. He knows that's his job. He goes near post on corner kicks defensively. We saw that in the board, you and I, this morning as we came to watch the Tormenta practice. One of those tactical, things that coaches do.
Yeah, Coach Ben Freakley, so detailed in his preparation, making sure that everybody understands their responsibility as Anunga now controls for Carolina.
And I tell you what, Drew, as a player, the best coaches you play for are the ones who tell you what you're supposed to do when you have the ball, what you do when you don't have it. As we see the ball into the corner, offside. Brent Bronico always lurking around that 18. But yeah, Ben does a great job preparation. Of course, Mike, the assistant coach, he took care of the set pieces on the board this morning. So Mike, you know if you're on the field what your responsibility is defensively and offensively as well.
Yeah, Coach Freakley wearing 2 different hats here with the Tormenta franchise. He's the head coach, also the general manager, very much a part of accumulating the talent through college coaches, through videos sent in, through open tryouts. Eddie, he has been so busy over the past 6 months.
And I tell you what's so tough about being a coach and being a general manager is that usually when you have a general manager, you have somebody to bounce ideas off from. When it comes down to players, usually a general manager has a good understanding of talent, right? They usually go in the NFL, they go in the draft, they help pick players. And so it's tough to be the head coach and the general manager at the same time because you're going to live and die by the sword. Whoever you pick, however they play. Mario da Silva just on top of the box gets taken down. Casey Osborne one time closing that gap.
Da Silva plays at Campbell University. He has shown tremendous skill in this first half, and this will be a good chance now for Carolina. If you are Tormenta, Eddie, how do you want to set up here?
You got to put 4 on the wall, 3 in the wall. Problem is you got to watch out the number 16. He's got a good right foot. Chris Ramsell looking for that in-swinger. And that top Brian has got that left foot. So the question is, are they going to go direct or are they going to bend it in the box?
Tough ball to defend here. It sails just left as it was struck off the foot of Chris Ramsell.
Actually, Reed might have touched that ball off of his head. So we see once again.
Well, that might have grazed the elbow that time. You saw Ramsell pleading to the official for the call, didn't get it. So now it's Bronico with the corner kick.
Bronico's got that right foot in-swinger.
Ball is up in the air. Far side. Tormenta trying to scramble here, and it will be another try for Carolina. So 3 good chances here in the 44th minute for the Dynamo.
One good thing we've seen for the Tormenta is defensive shape on those corner kicks. They've been pretty good. We know Reed is going to go first post on that side, and you can tell they're trying to bypass him.
Headed just off. Good idea by Nipon. He has also been very active for Carolina. Boy, they have got tremendous athletes.
Yeah, and that's
in
what I was
white
saying
here
before.
tonight.
The Carolina Dynamo have a lot of great individual players. You know, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with once they start connecting with the 1-2s. We see Mario da Silva doing so already with our number 11, Danny Elliott, and of course the number 10 who scored the goal, Brant Bronico.
Eli Dent's got to be the man to make it happen for Tormenta. Loses it that time. Really physical there. Jordan Liu, the midfielder from Florida Gulf Coast, trying to control. Again, it's Da Silva trying to give his teammates a chance. Once again, the Tormenta D tested. That ball going to sail out as we near halftime.
I tell you, a great job by Casey Osborne just closing that space, because when Mario da Silva went down the line, he just immediately closed that change, that gap. And of course, not enough time for Mamadi to bring the ball down. Left-footed ball that just sails away.
So the offense for Tormenta has been a little bit quiet here over the past few minutes, playing mainly on their side of the field, Eddie. They have got to generate some sort of momentum here in the second half, and that will probably be the biggest topic at halftime from head coach Ben Freakley.
Yeah, we talk about being a little bit better in the attacking third. Not a lot of clear chances, you know, off that. So for the Tormenta FC, they need to figure out a way to come off that locker room in the second half as we get one last corner here in the first half.
And it's the first one of the match for Tormenta. And first one ever at home. Ball put in a good spot. And let's see, it ricocheted off a couple players that time.
Yeah, they get another one, another chance. Came off a Dynamo player.
So that's Daniel Jota with the strike. Once more, this ball a little bit low, comes right back to Jota. Time is running out. Nearly went off the head of Liu. If Liu had struck that ball, it would have been big time trouble.
Yeah, the service was a little bit too high. Once again, you want to drive that ball to the far post, not put so much air. The advantage goes to the defender in that case.
That brings us to halftime.
So Tormenta trailing at the half 1-0 to the Carolina Dynamo. It was a goal in the 10th minute by Brant Bronico that got the Dynamo on the board. Since then, Tormenta with very few chances, mainly playing on the defensive in the first half. And that is the margin, 1-0. Anton Wyden has been tested for Tormenta. We'll come back here to Statesboro in just a moment.
You see, you wouldn't ask why the rose that grew from the concrete had damaged petals. On the contrary, we would all celebrate its tenacity. Well, we are the roses. These are my damaged petals. Don't ask me why. Ask me how.
Visit Statesboro and stay a while.
Woohoo! Visit Statesboro and learn about life on the farm.
Visit Statesboro, where fun is done.
Visit Statesboro and see what's happening tonight. Woo-hoo!
I'm Philip Irick.
I'm Dr. Tyler Bergner.
I graduated from Ogeechee Technical College and I'm finishing my bachelor's degree at Georgia Southern University.
I am a resident physician at Memorial University Medical Center. I am OTC.
Every student is unique. Whether you're interested in dual enrollment, an associate degree, or earning credit toward a higher degree, a diploma, or certificate, Ogeechee Tech can help you build a strong foundation for your future. Visit ogeecheetech.edu to find out how you can go anywhere from here.
Seems so far away. Tuesdays the same. Forever planning our escape. Something.
I'm Cecilia Arango.
I'm Jared Hall.
I'm Jonathan Stalka.
My name is Kathy Liberatore, and this is My Savannah.
This is My Savannah.
And this is My Savannah.
And this is My Savannah.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Statesboro. I'm Drew Felios here at Irk Russell Park. The score, the Carolina Dynamo 1 and your Tormenta FC 0. Drew Felios, Eddie Rodriguez on the call. Eddie is down on the field. We'll get with him in just a moment. In fact, Eddie is with Coach Freakley right now. Let's send it to Eddie down on the field. Eddie, take it away.
Good turnout. Here we are down on the field with Coach for the Tormenta FC. Coach, not the way you drew it up on the board before the game.
No, we're certainly disappointed with the score at halftime. We've got to make some changes, Eddie.
What are some of the things you guys did well that you're comfortable with? What are some of the things you would change in the second half?
Our wide backs got forward 9 times. I'm happy with that. I think if we can get into double digits, I'll be a lot happier. We have to take much better care of the ball in the middle third, and second balls are killing us right now. We've got to have more attention on second balls in the air and winning the bits and pieces of the game that are just as critical as keeping the ball.
From the Carolina Dynamo, anything that worries you a little bit as far as what they're showing you up front with the 3 strikers, with Mario da Silva, number 9, doing so much? Do you mark him man on man? What do you do?
He's been a handful up top. I think Peyton and Casey are doing their best with him. I think for us, it's more about stopping the early balls coming into him. I think we have a lot more control over that than we do his size, so that's something that we have to address.
Great. Coach, thank you so much for your time. We'll get back to you. A commercial, we'll get back to you guys. Thank you.
You guys will applaud yourselves for all the good work that
we get you back to you.
The Holiday Inn Statesboro is proud to be the official hotel sponsor of Tormenta FC, Statesboro's PDL soccer team. Ideally located near the Georgia Southern soccer fields, the Holiday Inn Statesboro offers comfortable yet deluxe accommodations at an affordable price. The Holiday Inn Statesboro is Statesboro's exclusive full-service hotel, offering a full hot breakfast served daily in our on-site restaurant. Whether you're relaxing in our pool, dining in our on-site restaurant and bar, or just relaxing in your room enjoying our complimentary Wi-Fi, the Holiday Inn Statesboro is the perfect hotel choice.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Why the rose that grew from the concrete had damaged petals. On the contrary, we would all celebrate its tenacity. Well, we are the roses. These are my damaged petals. Don't ask me why. Ask me how.
Carolina Dynamo lead Tormenta FC. I'm Drew Felios. This has been a historic night so far here in Statesboro. Darren Van Tassel, Jeremy Avon, the owners of this great franchise, have done a tremendous job making this very first night possible. So has the entire staff. But if there's anybody that I would say probably has the most stressful job, it is the general manager and the head coach, Ben Freakley.
They can expect a lot of creativity. They can expect a team that really cares about playing a good, attractive style of soccer. They can expect a team that plays with a lot of aggression.
What I do want, he goes on, plays in the dead, and I'm going, and now it's a 5-yard ball, and I want that one touch. I want that one touch as much as he can. We've got to go faster.
He's very competitive and wants and expects to win.
Yeah, it's up.
Today, it was 2 of our players' first ever sessions. So we're still working through the guys getting comfortable with each other. It's a process. It's a process. That's why there's no cell phones allowed at breakfast. So guys can figure out things like, tell us something we don't know about you, like who's your favorite rapper. I played college soccer here at Georgia Southern University right here in Statesboro and coached college soccer for 13 years after that at 4 different colleges and universities before working with Tormenta FC as head coach and general manager. Most of our team is college students. We have 17 different universities represented on Tormenta FC. We have 5 players that are already graduated from college and 2 players that have played a little bit of professional soccer.
Here at Irk Russell Park, intensity and enthusiasm in the air. It's 1-0 after 1 half of play. Drew Felios alongside former MLS star Eddie Rodriguez. You know, it was a tough first half for the Tormenta, but head coach Ben Freakley still with tons of enthusiasm, and you can tell he thinks his best soccer, his team's best soccer, still in front of him.
You know, as we say, Drew, it's an early game, it's an early season. It's tough for both teams. Of course, Tormenta with one critical mistake in the back, and that pretty much has been the difference in this game. However, they've been able to play good, solid defense, and for them, it's about finding those gaps offensively, and I think that's where they're going to be successful.
All right, let's take a look at that one mistake. It led to the only goal of the game for Carolina. It happened in the 10th minute as you see Brant Bronico was in the right place at the right time. He was able to gain possession. Carolina taking control right here, and he's able to put it right in the back of the net. Got it right by Anton Whitehead.
And of course, that happened by the mishap of Peyton Erickson, who tried to trap the ball. And of course, as you mentioned, that number 10, with a lot of time, a lot of space, he went down. Great cross, great shot to the cross post. Nothing the goalkeeper Anton could do.
We'll say this, with all the emotion in the air, all the enthusiasm, it could have been easy for this game to quickly get out of hand. You've been part of games that have happened like that. One goal leads to two, leads to three. All of a sudden, you're down huge. Tormenta able to limit the damage in the first half.
And that's why I said defensively, they're a good, solid defense. As a unit, they defend well. That goal happened by, a individual, mistake, if you could say that. However, as a team, they're pretty solid. They didn't give up much offensively, especially right around the 18, so that's critical for a good team to have.
All right, still an exciting first half of soccer. Eddie will also go down on the field, have a chance to interview Tony Falvino, the head coach of the Carolina Dynamo, when we come back. You are watching PDL Soccer, the Tormenta hosting the Carolina Dynamo. We return in just a moment.
We get you back to you.
The Holiday Inn Statesboro is proud to be the official hotel sponsor of Tormenta FC, Statesboro's PDL soccer team. Ideally located near the Georgia Southern soccer fields, the Holiday Inn Statesboro offers comfortable yet deluxe accommodations at an affordable price. The Holiday Inn Statesboro is Statesboro's exclusive full-service hotel, offering a full hot breakfast served daily in our on-site restaurant. Whether you're relaxing in our pool, dining in our on-site restaurant and bar, or just relaxing in your room enjoying our complimentary Wi-Fi, the Holiday Inn Statesboro is the perfect hotel choice.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Why the rose that grew from the concrete had damaged petals. On the contrary, we would all celebrate its tenacity. Well, we are the roses. These are my damaged petals. Don't ask me why. Ask me how.
Early, give us your thoughts.
No, I think the boys worked hard. I think they created a chance just by work rate. We were able to capitalize on a mistake from our pressure, and then Brant Branico was able to finish. So I think it's bright for the future, and if we can continue to keep that pressure up, I think we'll be able to get a couple more chances.
We've been talking about throughout the broadcast the difficulty of a head coach like yourself to put this team together. Some of the boys have just gotten released from the university this week. For you as a head coach to put a team together, come here and play your second game, let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, it's finding some consistency and some flow with the guys is the hardest thing. I think for both teams, particularly us, and a lot of our guys are just finishing off with their classes. We're still looking for some of the guys to be released from their colleges, so it's a work in progress. I think for our guys, it's just to find that rhythm from practice to practice and from week to week.
You finally got your first goal on the road. You changed anything for the second half? It'll be great for you to go with 3 points away. What do you do?
Right now, we're going to come back out with the same lineup. We'll make changes as needed. It'll be great to get a result on the road. I think we just want a good performance in the second half and take another 45 minutes to build off. Right.
Coach, thank you so much for your time. Good luck in the second half. Drew, right back to you. We'll come back to these messages.
All right, Eddie, thank you so much. 1-0 is the score. Coach Falvino trots back to be with his team. The Carolina Dynamo, losers last week 1-0 to Charlotte, an in-state rival. Off a late penalty kick, you can sense that in the early minutes of this contest, Carolina had a chip on their shoulder. They went right to work. Brant Branico with the only goal, but also several quality chances by Mario Da Silva, Danny Elliott, Brian Anunga also made the goalie Anton Wyden of Tormenta FC move many times and often in the first half. Well, it is great to have you with us tonight. Drew Felios alongside Eddie Rodriguez and our entire crew here at the Stadium Irk Russell Park. This is the home stadium, of course, for Georgia Southern soccer during the fall, but tonight you look around the stadium, it has been transformed into the home of Tormenta FC with all the banners around the stadium. You also see the bleachers coming out of both end zones and the signage as well. And an early tradition born in the first half with the youngsters coming out of the Storm Soccer Academy trotting around the track about midway through the half, Eddie. And at some point, we're going to have to get together with owner Darren Van Tassel and Jeremy Avon, come up with a name for that, because that has the makings of being a unique tradition in the PDL.
Maybe an Olympic lap after a goal. Maybe two, perhaps, so you can tire them out. They get home tired.
A good chance to meet with Coach Valvino. You could just sense when we talked to him in the pregame, his team was on a mission coming in here tonight to get their first win. And the same for Tormenta. Tormento's been a little bit shaky on offense, but if they can settle down in the second half, hopefully they can tie the score and possibly even pull out their first win here at home.
Yeah, it's about doing your job on the field. Of course, Carolina right now up and score 1-0. But, you know, as we heard from Coach Tony Falbino saying, hey, we got a little bit lucky in that first half. We were able to capitalize. And, you know, other than that, it's about trying to put the pieces together.
So Carolina now moves left to right. Bruce Oliver with the throw-in. And let's see if the speed can pick up here in half number 2 as a player goes down for Tormenta. Seen Io Sosu been very active out of that defender spot, the former Rochester Rhino, bringing that pro experience here in the inaugural season for Tormenta FC. He gets his foot on it here to start.
And of course, no subs for the Carolina side. Coach said, you know what, pretty happy with the first half.
This is Jota. Chance for a one-timer. There it is. And right at the goalie, Ryan Cretens. He was in perfect position once again.
Yeah, Bruce Oliver, though, on that body check that we'll see him right here, takes the defender from the Carolina down. He was given a chance to have Eli Dent with a clear view to the goal. Referee close enough to call it.
That was the best shot on goal that Tormenta is able to come up with so far tonight.
Once again, you see the ability of Brant Bronico diving in the box, having a chat with the linesman, calling for that PK. Just not enough. And of course, it's going to be tough. He's got that one-on-one against Ayo Sosu out of the left fullback for the Tormenta FC defense.
That's been a fun battle to watch so far here tonight.
This Ayo, a very dynamic player, left-footed player, but just loads of speed. Likes to go forward.
Bruce Oliver gets this going. You see the flow for Carolina. Da Silva lost it that time, but it is picked right up by Iosafidis. Carolina very cerebral so far in this game. Trying to come up with an early chance there. The ball sailed a little bit on Naipaw.
Well, I'll tell you, Drew, Coach Ben Freakley told us at halftime, and he was dead on. The turnovers are killing us, and that's pretty much has been the difference in this.
Just as you say that, Da Silva came up with another one, and it nearly led to another goal. It's been ball handling that's been a little bit sloppy for Tormenta FC.
It's a great ball into the box. Of course, the forward for the Dynamo asking for the foul.
Wyden puts it in play. Carolina continuing to apply the pressure. Peyton Erickson trying to win some balls. out of that defensive spot. And now, Tormenta FC can slow things down.
Yeah, I think it's Mario da Silva holding his knee. And this does not look good for the Dynamo. One of the most creative players for the Carolina side. We see the trainer coming out from the bench. He's just grabbing his left knee. And there we see him going down at the end of that replay. I think just the way he stepped.
What kind of an impact has Da Silva had on this game tonight, Eddie?
Oh, he's been crucial. By far, the best player for Carolina. Even though he's wearing number 9, he plays like a number 10 out of the back. Great left foot. He's got the ability to take 2-3 players on, so he draws a lot of attention, and then he plays that through ball.
For your casual soccer fan, what's the difference between a number 9 and a number 10?
That a number 10 is going to be, the number 9 is usually the big target forward. The number 10 is usually the creative player, like a Messi, you know, a Maradona type. But he does that job. You know, usually the more creative type plays that number 10. And that's what Mario da Silva does for this Carolina Dynamo side. Just always threading what we call threading the needle, playing that ball between the gaps, the center backs. And it does not look good for the Dynamo. I think they're making a sub.
Still, the good news, there is motion in those legs. He is walking just very gingerly. Hopefully, Mario da Silva is okay, Eddie. You hate to see that here in the early part of the season.
Yeah, you would, because, you know, one of the reasons why this league is around is just to give some of these players, you know, a chance to play during the summer. And, of course, the last thing you want to see is just have injuries, of course.
Wyden gives it a ride once more, and we're going to have a call. This will be a push in the back by Naipon. It will belong to Tormenta. If Tormenta can somehow come away with a goal, this crowd will explode here at Irk Russell Park. You can sense everybody's still waiting for that first score.
And that's what they need to do. They just need to settle down, keep the mistakes down to a minimum, start putting 2 and 3 passes together, go at the attack.
Eriksson now, nice ball, a battle in the box. And a good job by Cretans. He couldn't grab it that time and reel it in, but he did bat it out. Tormenta, though, stays with it. They'll have another chance. The long shot sails high, but that's what you want if you're Tormenta. You want to apply pressure constantly.
Absolutely. Kieran, that's actually Daniel Jordan, who just came in. Good idea, wrong club, though. He's trying to in-swing that ball to the far post. You're right, though. That's what you want to do. Just early services into the box, especially to that far post.
And every time the ball goes up in the air, keep in mind, Nikolai Hammer, number 9. The guy with a target on his back for Tormenta. Our attendance figure has just been handed to us here in the press box. Exactly 3,105 soccer fans in the house tonight, Eddie, and they are all having a blast, I can assure you.
But I tell you, though, down in the field, it feels like 5,000 because you can tell all the way around, just a great atmosphere. Just a great night for this home opener for Tormenta FC.
Owner Darren Van Tassel stopped by at halftime, and you could just see the smile on his face. All the hours of hard work from him and his staff. Also co-owner Jeremy Avon, Heidi Jeffers, the vice president of franchise development, and everybody up and down. You can see the teamwork that it has taken to make tonight possible, and what a night it's been so far.
And I'll tell you, what a great job they've done putting this event together. Great save right there, far post, near post rather. Antoine Whitten.
Now Wyden on the move. This was off of a rebound. He was able to stay with it. Those rebounds can be tough, Eddie.
Absolutely, great reflexes right there. He stayed with it. And of course, it's a difficult shot near post. Good job getting a little early.
This one sent back. Dynamo put it in the air. Tough ball. That's where they want it, but unable to control it was Bronico.
You're right, Doug. What a great job this front office from the Tormenta FC have done to just put this soccer game here tonight.
Getting really physical now.
And the first booking for this game.
So here it comes. And it looks like
that's 13 Dynamo player.
That's Philip Goodrum, number 13 out of UNC Wilmington. Issued the yellow card, the first card we've had tonight. Game has been played very physical, but it has been manageable.
And you can tell we talked about the expectation of the tempo of this game slowing down, especially in the second half. We knew the heat was going to be a factor, and both teams just taking their time putting the ball in play.
Tormenta much more aggressive in the second than in the first. Ayu Sosu controlling. Now Peyton Erickson.
Peyton trying to switch a point of attack all the way to the far post. Not able to get the ball there, and here comes the counter.
Foot race. Flag looked like it may have come out. Did not. And now the Dynamo trying to square one up. There it is. Another great save. Wyden.
Brandt Bronico with a chance right around the penalty spot, and once again, Anton with a great save. And that's 2 in the last 5 minutes. Look at that 1-2 in the box. Bronico takes a little cut with his left foot. Wide open shot right into the hands of the goalkeeper.
The threat is not over yet. Elliott, tough ball off the head and out of bounds.
Good job by Elliott sending that ball far post. Now Brian not able to make good contact on that header.
Boy, Anton Wyden, young goalie out of Young Harris College. We're told he was a great presence in the box by Ben Freakley. He has proven to be just that.
Yeah, he's been huge tonight for this Tormenta FC. Had nothing to do in that first goal. It's a great shot on the ground by Bronico.
Wyden of Swedish descent. Seen a lot of Swedish goalies in the past, Eddie, that have been extremely tough to score on.
Yeah, he's got that presence in the box. Once again, something that you as a defender want to have. A big guy in the back, especially in the air. He's got great presence. He's good on his feet, which is now important for a goalkeeper.
Now the Dynamo will slow things down. Try and send this one upfield. Sosu able to get ahead on it. And now Tormenta trying to slowly make sense of things, but have not been able to get extended runs going. It's been quick chances here and there, but let's see if they can sustain something here in the next 10 minutes. Played now by Rector, who came off the bench recently. Anunga racing the other way. He has got tremendous speed for Carolina. Oh, what a take.
Great tackle right there from that 44, Ayo Sosu. And he was a clean tackle too. He got all ball.
Sosu gets right back into position. Iosafidis.
This is pretty much a wide open game now in the middle of the field.
Shot defended there. Rebound comes back. Carolina still pressing. And once again, the goalie Wyden bails out Tormenta.
And you can tell it's gotten sloppy, especially right in the middle of the field. Both teams just plenty of time. You see that huge lake right there, Drew.
Eddie, a lot more chances in the second half than in the first.
Well, that's what's going to happen. Whenever you stretch a game, whenever you stretch a team, then now you have that huge gap in the middle. So now you're going to have a lot of time to turn with the ball, a lot of space to look up to and find those target forwards early in the game.
A franchise record announced for attendance. 3,105 would not be tough to break, being that this is the first ever home match, but we'll certainly take it.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of time. Once the team starts to click, and by that I mean getting results, then I'm assuming we're going to get better crowds here. Of course, tonight being a great crowd, great atmosphere here for the Tormenta FC, especially for the home opener.
That one goes off of Sosu, and now Carolina will throw it in. Eddie, as we watch these two teams battle, these teams have been together a little bit less than a month, both, of course, in the same positions, a lot of new players, teams getting to know each other. Is conditioning a factor here tonight in the hot conditions?
Oh, absolutely. You know, if some of these players have been training on their own, which is so hard, you know, you don't know what kind of conditions are coming in. It might be good on the ball, but just as a unit, it's hard to condition a whole team in a week. So as the season gets, you know, a little bit further into it, you're going to see a different side of teams.
Kieran Roberts trying to make something happen. Trying to get a corner kick. Looking for the call. Doesn't get it.
And you see the speed of Roberts right there trying to get around the corner.
So Roberts is a playmaker. The Englishman expected to give Tormenta a big lift off the bench.
Trying to manhandle that defender, getting around the corner.
Now Kieran Roberts, his teammates take it from here. Jad Arslan trying to keep possession, and this is going to go over to Carolina.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the referee called. Ball was trying to go deep, looking for Jad.
'61st minute here in the home opener for Tormenta FC. Drew Felios and Eddie Rodriguez. PDL action coming to you from Statesboro, Georgia. Carolina Dynamo located in Greensboro, North Carolina. Owner Neil McPherson does a tremendous job with this club year in and year out. This ball gets behind, and another one a little bit too easy for Carolina. That ball probably should not have gotten through.
No, Tormenta needs to be careful. You cannot penetrate that ball so easily, especially behind your two center backs. You know, the forward from the Dynamo was shocked to find that ball behind the defensive line.
Brant Bronico, the guy who scored the lone goal of this match with a corner kick.
Bruce Oliver being subbed out.
Still not easy. You got to deal with the fans right behind you, Eddie. That's what that home hostile environment is all about for Tormenta. I'm sure they're letting Bronico know right now that this play's not going to be easy.
It all depending whether they're nice fans or not, of course.
You played in some hostile environments in the past.
Hostile environments, yes.
I'm sure. Tough play right there, and a goal by Carolina. 62nd minute. The Dynamo come up big once again.
And you and I talked about the importance of not giving up set pieces. Corner kick goes into the near post. That's Daniel Mukana with a great header to the far post. And that makes it 2-0 for the Dynamo.
Daniel Mukuna, the defenseman out of Campbell, in the perfect spot. And that ball was nearly indefensible. The angle that it had and the position that Mukuna was able to get, just too much.
That's the reason why you want to make near post runs, and Mukuna did just that, got in front of the defender. Great header with authority. Put his head down, and the ball, of course, went far post. So hard for the goalkeeper, Anton, to lay down and grab that ball.
Now it's Chris Ramsell for Carolina. Tormenta in a 2-0 hole here, and we are past 60 minutes. So even without one of their best facilitators, Mario Da Silva, this Carolina offensive attack still shows it is very capable.
Yeah, and of course that's the importance of not giving up set pieces, meaning free kicks outside the box or even corner kicks.
And again, the offensive possessions just not crisp for Tormenta FC. Let's see if they can turn around here. Jeremy Rector sends it back.
Yeah, just not there yet, especially in the attacking third. Of course, in the back where you have more space, more time, it's easier, but that attacking third, it's so elusive for the Tormenta side.
Pass attempted that time, nobody home. Arslan tried to squirt it through. Jordan Liu will send it to the left side. Tough attempt by Sosu. Looking for a call, and we'll stop play. Sosu will have it.
Handball right there. That's from Daniel Mukuna, who scored the goal. There's a good chance right here for Tormenta. They got to take the time. Seeing some of those big defenders up. This ball, the service here has to be great. You do not want to go direct. You don't have the angle. This is a great chance for an in-swinger. And I think that's the way they're setting up. Daniel Jota on the ball. Right foot in-swinger.
Kieran Roberts trots over to the huddle. He wears number 7. We'll keep an eye on him. Ball's got some carry in a tough spot, but unable to get the angle. It's cleared by Carolina.
And that's a good ball. Great spin to the far post. Player brings it back. That's Eli Dent playing the ball back into the middle of the box. Nobody there to touch it, and of course Dynamo just cleared the ball out of the back.
Bronico now slows things down. Ayo Sosu doing everything he can right now for Tormenta. He is hustling like there is no tomorrow. Number 44.
Yeah, he's done a great job closing spaces, winning his individual battles. He really hasn't gotten beaten today.
Now we get really physical. It'll belong to Tormenta. So the crowd getting into it just a bit. Got quiet just for a moment there. I think it came on the heels of that second goal, Eddie. That second goal in soccer, definitely deflating if you haven't gotten on the board yourself.
It does, but as we know in soccer, that's probably one of the worst scores to have, 2-0, because that's when you kind of get that feeling of you got this one, and then you fall asleep, and before you know it, the game's tied 2-2. So you got to be careful keeping that 2-0 lead. Either you make it 3-0, or just keep that tight defense in the back ready to go.
Fans were here as early as 4 o'clock this afternoon anticipating the birth of Tormenta FC Soccer. And you see that Storm Soccer Academy, over 1,000 young athletes participating in that great program run by Jeremy Avon.
And for them, it's great to come see their home team now, of course. There's nothing greater than when you're a kid to come watch the, in this case, semi-pro team, but when you have a chance to go support your pro team, your town team, it's a great thing to do. And of course, we know that perhaps in the next year or so, they're going to be wearing the same uniform, so.
Resuming action now. Peyton Erickson gives it a ride. Coming back to it is Danny Elliott. Elliott has been active for the Carolina Dynamo in the thick of things early and often. Now it's Anunga. He has got a lethal right foot. Coming up to play it is Wyden, and Tormenta clears it.
A good early counterattack by Tormenta. They lose the ball once again. And that's where they're having all those problems in transition.
There's a good aggressive play made by Kieran Roberts. Roberts has made some things happen tonight.
Well, remember, Kieran Roberts comes in with a full tank of gas. He just came off the bench, so for him, you got to do that. You got to just put that effort, get back defensively, win those balls. And some of the other teammates are just, slowing down, running out of air.
College soccer played during the fall. And it's much different when you play it in May than when you play it in October and November, isn't it?
Absolutely. Climates, we see it especially closer to the tournament time, and you get some of those freezing temperatures. And, of course, right now you got to deal with the heat and the humidity.
Daniel Makuna scored the second goal for Carolina. Nifty moves. Number 6 trying to weave his way in there. Denied by Ayu Sosu, who got in his way. And he gave up a lot of pounds, did Sosu, on that play, but he didn't back down.
I tell you, man, he's a force to be reckoned with. He's got the technical ability. He's got the size. But you're right, give credit to Ayu Sosu, who never backed down, just held his own. And, of course, ball trickle.
I mean, Eddie, you look at the physical stature of Makuna. He looks like a linebacker, a big tight end on the football field.
Well, and the best part about him, once again, he's good on the ball. He's not just a big guy, but he's good on the ball, which is, of course, so hard to have. And he's got that speed, too. Loves to make runs out of the back.
So now a conversation with our officials. Ayu Sosu is down there. There's something going on. Our referees tonight, David Jai, Amin Hadzig, Remy Ajasa, and Brandon Adams. And it will wind up in the possession of Tormenta FC. Peyton Erickson now to give it a ride. Still 2-0, your score. Erickson sends it to the right. Trying to chase it down is Lloyden. Saves it from going out of bounds. Tries the cross. And right there is Daniel Makuna. We talk about a lift off the bench. Makuna has looked in command since coming in as a sub for Carolina.
I'll tell you what, he won't be a sub too much longer. And he could have been one of those players that just got here midweek, not in form, or at least not a lot of time on the field with a new team, with the new players. But I tell you what, man, he's been great ever since he's come off the bench for this Carolina Dynamo team.
Now Roberts in traffic, trying to weave his way through it. And not a lot of spacing that time. Tormenta asking for the call. Hands go up in the air, and we play on.
I think that should have been a call right outside the box. Ayo.
Sosu tries the cross. Somebody is there. It was a great idea, but Tormenta just not able to execute that final third once again.
It was a great ball by Ayo Sosu, looking for that player in the far post. Nobody gets there.
Time, and that one just a little too far.
And you can tell some of these Tormenta players playing at a different speed. For instance, Ayo Sosu's been on the whole game, doesn't get beat defensively, great services off the bat, just not able to connect with any of their forwards.
Ayo Sosu has that USL experience. So does Reed Norton, Eddie. It's players like that. Their tutelage has got to filter down to the younger players, the college guys, to get them to play up to their level.
Absolutely. That's when you want those players and their experience to go through. As you see, great effort by Peyton getting to that ball. He gets a little bit of a help push from Top Brian. Referee doesn't call it.
Well, the motto for Tormenta FC is the pros start here. And pros are certainly starting throughout the entire PDL through the years, Eddie. Over the past 6 years, 70% of players drafted by the MLS Super Draft had PDL experience. That shows you how significant this league actually is.
No, yeah, the league is great. Once again, the majority of 90% of the players are college players, so this is a great chance for them to stay active in the summer and, of course, play against pretty much the best of the college ranks. So by the time, you finish college, you go into the, whether it's, the NASL, whether it's the A-League, or used to be the A-League, the USL, and, of course, if you're great at a college, you get to bypass that and go straight into the MLS draft and get picked up by an MLS franchise.
Ryan Cretens is perfect so far. He has not been scored on as Carolina nurses a 2-0 lead. We're in the 73rd minute. Tormenta still looking for their first goal, not just of this game, but in their franchise history. Sent back now to Wyden, who has been a star in net, although he has allowed the 2 goals.
Reed trying to switch a point of attack. Plays the ball behind. Looking for Casey Osborne out of the back. And those are some of the imperfections we've seen for Tormenta FC. They're trying to come out of the back, just not as good and as precise as they should. Oh, great turn right here by Brant Bronico.
And a tie up there. No whistle comes out. Looked like it could have been a foul, but we play on.
You saw that cheeky little turn by Bronico. Little outside of the foot action. Got behind, collected his own ball.
Lots of positioning going on right now. Sam Lofts, number 23 in the game for Tormenta. Numbers for the home team. Left side, Ayu Sosu. Nice ball, near the net. And nobody was there to finish. Boy, it was another great idea by number 44.
Another great ball by Ayu. And once again, Drew, you want to make runs first post. Of course, he chose to go far post, but it's got to be a player there. You always want to have 3 forwards if you can. 1 near post, 1 in the middle, 1 far post. Nobody far post. But you can sense that it's just a matter of time for this Tormenta team to finally put one in the back of the net.
Well, time is running out, and you can sense the urgency from Tormenta FC. Well, if Tormenta's going to get on the board here, it's going to have to be because of a boost from their bench. The crowd now gets into it, chanting Tormenta, Tormenta.
This is a great time for the crowd to get into it and get a little lift for the players, to the players, right around the 75th minute.
Well, Jeremy Rector go airborne. He's another local product from right here, Georgia Southern. So this is about that time, Eddie, the 75th, 76th minute where you start to feel the legs. If you've been in this game from the outset, this is where you really got to gut through it.
Yeah, this is when, if you're not super fit, this is when you start feeling heavy legs. And of course, Drew, you and I know that this is when mistakes happen as well, when you start getting heavy legs. So majority of the times, this is when your good subs come in, give you that extra lift for the last 15. And of course, if you're still on the pitch, you want to figure out a way to get it done.
Carolina Dynamo will throw it in from the far side. 2 goals from Carolina, one by Bronico, the other by Makuna. One in the first half, the other about midway through the second half. Tormenta still looking for that first real true scoring chance. Hasn't not come yet. Brant Bronico has played tremendous tonight. From the right side, tried that little 1-2. Anunga was denied. Here comes the defense. Ball comes out. No whistle by our officials, so Tormenta just plays on.
And Anunga's been another player for this Carolina side who's been pretty good so far, making some great runs out of the back. As we see this holding foul.
As the feet is tied up that time. So you can kind of see, I think, right now, Eddie, 2 different objectives. I think Carolina trying to mainly control. They'll take a chance if it's there. Tormenta, meanwhile, kind of just going all out here this last 13 minutes.
Yeah, Tormenta still trying to press going forward. And for the Carolina side, for them, it's just about keeping the ball, keeping possession. And when you find that gap, then that's when you go at them. Of course, when you have great individual talent, especially like that number 10, Brant Bronico, who's been all over the place tonight for the Dynamo. Anunga
and Makuna back and forth. Bronico to chase it down. And it slid out before he got a chance to possess. A corner kick coming up for the Dynamo.
Corner kick for the Dynamo.
It has been a perfect game plan executed tonight by Coach Tony Falvino's team. Here in a festive and sometimes hostile environment.
It has. For them, it's been great. They knew they had to play good, solid defense. They've been able to do so. And, of course, when you go up 2-0, what more can you ask for? Once again, another chance for the Dynamo.
Yeah, speaking of what more can you ask for, what more can you ask for from Anton White? And he has done his job tonight.
It has. He's been keeping this Tormenta team just safe time and time again. Both goals, he had nothing to do with them. And once again, here comes the Dynamo.
Dylas, the defenseman out of Goldie Beacom College, in the game for Tormenta FC. Time running out for Tormenta. Still trying to establish a rally. Kieran Roberts played well off the bench here in half number 2. This one given a ride. In the danger zone, putting it up is Cretans. Again, he gets a hand on it at the perfect time and puts it just where it needs to be. Anunga leads his player perfectly. Bronico, but it was defended just as perfect by Eriksson.
And look at that speed of Bronico. At the 80th minute mark, he's still making great runs into the box. That just tells you what kind of fitness shape he came in. Good job into the space.
Well, the save total for Tormenta goalie Anton White, and right now is 5. Eddie, it seems like it's should be about 10 or 12.
Absolutely. He's been all over that goal for this Tormenta defense.
Had a big impact on this game, but not enough of one as Tormenta trails by a deuce. Thrilled to be with you for 7 home matches this year from Erk Russell Park. 14 games total on the schedule. This number 2 of 14. Is Tormenta gonna continue to improve? Here's another chance. Jeremy Rector the shot. And again, Cretans in the perfect spot.
Great shot. He took that ball right about 30 out. He just lets one go. Great vision, great strike. Look at that, right into that upper V. Great chance by Grydon Cretans, who's been pretty much for this Dynamo team as well.
Another chance knocked away by Ramsell. And I'll tell you what, Ryan Cretans has played well, but he's had great help from his defense, Eddie. They have not gotten many clean looks on him because of the guys in the back.
Yeah, but there's been a couple of crucial saves that you're right. He's been there, good defense by the Dynamo, but once again, he's been there a couple of good times for this Dynamo defense.
Would you say if this score holds, still have a little more than 10 to play with extra time, is Cretans the top player in this match tonight? Has he been the biggest guy that has affected the outcome of this contest? Or is somebody else on the field for Carolina shined?
I would probably say, I would probably give it to that number 10, Brant Bronico, because not only did he score the first goal, which is so crucial, but he's been going at it the whole entire time. Even the 80th minute, he's still making runs. For me, he would be his MVP for this Dynamo team.
Well, for Tormenta so far, Anton White playing well, the goalie, and I think Ayo Sosu has just been so valuable coming out of the back.
Well, he's been effective, no mistakes.
Attack, attack, attack. The mindset right now from Tormenta FC. Arslan sends it to the right side. This one crossed, but not finished. Anunga comes out of there again like he has so many times tonight. Touch back to Wyden.
And that's what I was talking about, him getting great with his feet as well. Not only is he a great shot stopper, but you can play, a great goalkeeper nowadays can come out and handle the ball just like what he did right now out of the back.
Casey Osborne the touch. This is Trenton Whiteley out of Mercer University getting a chance at some playing time. Seeing a lot of substitutions, a lot more than we thought, Eddie. I thought coming in we'd see about 3 to 4 guys coming off the bench. Boy, that has not been the case. Coach Freakley is giving his youngsters a chance.
Well, what happens, Drew, that you don't get results, then you gotta try something new. And if things are not going your way, and of course that's been the case for, Coach Freakley, you got to try something new. New players come in.
A chance for new guys to make a name for themselves. Perhaps a guy hasn't shined at practice, but can come into a game and affect the outcome and really get a higher spot in the rotation.
And that happens so many times, Drew. You start the game, as we always say, it doesn't matter who starts, but who finishes the game. That's a good saying we have. Everybody wants to start, but you know what? Plenty of times you can come off the bench and be that catalyst, be that hero and win the game for a team, or at least make that huge difference, right?
Be a free kick for Trenton Whiteley, the Mercer star. Nice ball, but it just carries a little bit too much. Looked good coming off his foot, but just sailed to the right side of the goal.
Yeah, it's the right idea. He got a little bit too much under, and of course the ball sails away, gets away from you. But definitely right idea.
Now Makuna will toss it in. 85th minute. As we near the stretch run. It's been a hard-fought game from both of these teams, but executing just a little bit better has been the visitors from Carolina. Philip Goodrum now operating physical with Kieran Roberts, and Goodrum is going to get that call.
And of course, if you're the Dynamo right now, all you're going to do is waste time, especially in the middle of that field, switching the ball side to side. You don't have to go forward, Drew. You got to keep the ball, got to keep that score. And of course, you got the time behind you. Less than 10 minutes here in this second half.
Seen Robertson on a lot of plays tonight for Tormenta FC. Had to sit out a season, had a torn ACL. Told us last night he is so eager to be a big part of this franchise, wants to be a fan favorite, wants to be a star here in Statesboro. Now Tormenta attacking from the left.
Yeah,
Whiteley.
he told us last game was his first game in about a year and a half.
Casey Osborne. That one headed out. Boy, the defense has been in the right spot at the right time for Carolina. One player we have not called a lot for Tormenta FC has been Nikolai Hammer. We knew that coming into tonight, he was going to have to get some chances. There's a great shot, and it finds the left side of the goal. Just perfectly executed as to Brian Anunga, able to finish for the Carolina Dynamo, and it's 3-0.
Another player who's been crucial for this Dynamo team. He gets around two defenders, takes that ball on the ground to the far post. Nothing the goalkeeper could do. Anton. And that makes it 3-0 for the away team, the Dynamo.
Dynamo goal scored by number 14, Anunga.
Anunga's been pretty much everywhere in this entire game. Playing at that defensive center mid for the Dynamo.
We're watching the New York teams play in MLS tonight at the hotel. That looked like a play that could easily belong in one of those games. That was brilliant.
Absolutely. We talk about moments of brilliance by individual players. I think that was the third goal by the Metro Star. Well, Red Bulls now. You and I were watching it. New York going up 3-0.
Carolina still attacking. They want more. And Wyden makes another save.
Tanner Roberts with that great left foot shot to the far post. Anton with a good save. You see Roberts controlling the ball right around the 18, looking for that far post. Anton gets down, gets low, and adds another save to his count, which by now is probably around 15, if not more.
Brent Bronico played masterfully tonight. Young man out of Charlotte. Makuna and Bronico. The tempo tonight has belonged to Carolina from the kickoff. Flag will go up there as it gets really physical down in that corner.
You're right, the tempo of this game, the Dynamo pretty much controlled it from the get-go, scoring that early goal, setting the tempo in the first 10 minutes of the game. And after that, they control it till halftime. And, of course, in the second half, it's been pretty much one way, and that being the Carolina Dynamo's way.
So if you're head coach Ben Freakley, Eddie, what do you work on heading into week 3? You've seen your team now for 2 games. The first game last week, probably more impressive than this week. Defense, I think, was solid. Just a few breakdowns. The turnovers, obviously an issue, and the lack of offense now needs to be addressed.
Well, you know what? This is going to sound crazy because, everybody watching is going to say, well, you obviously need to work on defense because you lost 3-0. It is 3-0 with about 2 minutes left. And I think what you need to work on is just the individual efforts. If you think about it, this game broke down at the mental mistakes and, of course, the individual mistakes. You started giving the ball up in the middle of the field, and you cannot have that. You cannot blame this game on defense. It's hard to play 90 minutes throughout just defensive all the time. You're going to wear them out, and I think that's what happened tonight. Your goalkeeper played great, try to keep you in the game. So for them, it's a matter of being accountable, midfielder going forward, keeping the ball, and I think that's where the breakdown for them happened.
Still very young season for Carolina and Tormenta FC. Coach Freakley knew it was not going to be easy from the time he took the position of general manager and head coach. But the main thing you need is players with the right attitudes, guys who want to get better, not only from an individual but from a team standpoint as well. And they feel like they've got the right mix here in Statesboro to start a franchise. I think making those tweaks and those adjustments, Eddie, I think it's going to happen.
No, I think he's got that. I think he's got the right set of players. It's just a matter of spending a little more time in the field. This game could have easily gone the other way if you think about it. If you take away that early mistake and you go 0-0 at half, it's anybody's game, of course. But, once again, it's about going back to practice and just working in those, little things that mean a lot in a game, right? We talk about the mental aspect of the game and how crucial that is. And the great thing about that is that Ben Freakley is fanatical about what you're supposed to do, what your job is in that field, on and off the field. So I think they're going to turn this around.
Wyden now comes out of the goal as we are now in extra time. So a little bit of extra time for Tormenta to still try for that first goal in franchise history. Taking it back, though, is Tanner Roberts. Carolina able to keep most of the possession in the second half. Philip Goodrum playing the 1-2 with Anunga.
Anunga playing that negative ball. You can tell the Dynamo just keep in possession of the ball, pretty much keep away. And then, of course, they're going to dump the ball as far away from their goal as possible. Now you have 80 yards to go to. Tormenta's going to dump the ball forward and see what happens.
So goals tonight by Bronico, Makuna, and Anunga. 3 very talented players that I think are going to be playing at the next level and at the next level above that. Very bright futures on the field here tonight.
And, of course, we hope Mario da Silva a fast recovery, whatever happened with him.
Ball tipped up. Come up and won by Wyden.
And, of course, a reminder that extra time is kept on the field by the referee. That's, of course, being FIFA rules.
Can bet that Tormenta FC going to learn from this contest tonight. And all the things that you see, the shortcomings over the past 90 minutes of regulation, they're going to be worked on in practice all week long. Another chance for Tormenta. Here's the cross on the ground. The shot is just off. Well, it looked like the angle was there. The ball was deflected, though, as soon as it came off the foot.
And that was pretty much the best chance for Tormenta. And you can tell after that shot, The cramps are just, yeah, that was 21 with a great chance right there. Jad Aslan, he had a great look right there. Good job by the Dynamo just deflecting that ball.
One more chance. Tormenta still putting on the pressure. Oh, tipping it up. Just bailing his team out is Cretans. You can tell Carolina wants the shutout. Tormenta wants that first goal.
I tell you, Cretans once again has been doing a phenomenal job by this Dynamo defense. Just when you thought that one was going to go in the back of the net.
Carolina not out of the woods yet. That ball taken out. And Carolina will preserve the shutout. Tormenta FC, a valiant effort. But tonight, just a little bit too much by the visitors. The Dynamo topped Tormenta FC by a score of 3-0. Eddie, it was a hard-fought game. In the end, the individual talent of Carolina and the teamwork of the Dynamo, a little bit too much.
That's pretty much the difference, as you mentioned. You know, two teams that get here, you know, early in this season, of course. For the Carolina Dynamo, they were able to capitalize early in this game. And of course, for the home team, Tormenta FC, just not able to come back from that 1-0 deficit. Then it was 2 and then 3. And of course, things went sour early for them.
So the players shaking hands as Tormenta will fall now to 0-1-1 on the season. Carolina will improve to 1-1. Eddie, final thoughts here from Irk Russell Park. It was definitely a hard-fought game. Tormenta going to look forward now to next week.
Yeah, I think for them it's a learning experience. It's good for them to just get the second game under their belt, get the jitters out, get their first home game out of the way, and it's about just going back and just going back to the drawing board and get it done.
So the final score is 3-0. Carolina Dynamo over Tormenta FC. You see the Tormenta players coming over. Big round of applause on the field, thanking their fans. Once again, the attendance tonight, 3,105 here in Statesboro. For Eddie Rodriguez and our entire television crew here at Irk Russell Park, I'm Drew Felios. 3-0 is the final. Carolina over Tormenta. We'll see you in 2 weeks.